Hello, hello, hello. Men are good, as are you. Today we're going to be talking about Giggli versus BIGI. Giggli versus BIGI sounds like a Godzilla movie, right? It is kind of like that in a way. Yeah, Giggli versus BIGI. And actually, Giggli is GGGI, the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Index. GGGI, but I thought Giggli was a better name for it. Could have been Enraged, but we'll call it Giggli anyway. And old Giggli is quite a thing. A Global Gender Gap Report 2021. Now, let's read a little bit about what they say here. Another generation of women will have to wait for gender parity. According to the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report 2021, as the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic continues to be felt, closing the gender gap has increased by a generation from 99.5 years to 135.6 years. So they're saying that women are disadvantaged and are going to remain disadvantaged probably for another 135 years. So what is this Giggli thing, this GGGI? What is it? It's a feminist weapon. It's a weapon to try and push the idea and get more policy that pushes the idea that women need more stuff. They need to be more taken care of. Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, that's the GGGI, and it comes up with articles like this one. Reserve Squad, whatever that is. Today's workplace is not designed for women. Rewrite the rules. Oh, man. I mean, it's like, this is the general assumption that everyone goes, yeah, that's right, oh, poor women, 135 years, oh, we got to do something now, rewrite, blah, 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 blah. Oh, boy. It's just a weapon. We've seen this over and over again for decades. How they push this narrative that takes advantage of the gynocentrism, that everyone goes, oh, poor women, they need to be taken care of, right? We've all seen this before, and it's kind of a mess. But then, along comes David Geary and Gilbert Stoet, I think his name is. And they produced this thing called BIGI. BIGI is what is the name of it? Basic Index of Gender Inequality, BIGI. And I wish they'd not chosen BIGI as the name, BIGI, because every time you search for BIGI, BIGI, guess what? Michael Jackson's son apparently was named BIGI. And all you get is stuff about Michael Jackson, so, oh man. But anyway, BIGI is big, and it's important. That's why we're doing this video today, because it's really important. It's just critical. And BIGI, first off, this article I'm showing you right here, and I'll leave a link below to this article. I would highly recommend you have a look at it. But the article basically tears apart Giggli. And it just tears it limb from limb. And it shows that what? It shows that, Giggli only looks at disadvantages for women. When men are disadvantaged, it doesn't take any note of that. So there's only one way this is going to go, right? The only way it's going to go is it's going to show women to be disadvantaged. But it's worse than that. They take things like the CEOs. Oh, there's hardly any female CEOs or congressmen or chess champions or Fields Medal recipients. All of those things, they go, oh no, look, women are underrepresented. And judging by how long it's been since, women just got a couple more of the seats in Congress. So judging by that advancement, it's going to take us 135 years before women have full parity with men. Oh no. Okay. You all know what they're forgetting here, right? What are they forgetting? They're forgetting that men and women are different, and that men are pushed from the inside, testosterone, to strive for status. Strive for status. Keep practicing, keep at it, keep striving. So he's going to be pushed into a position where he feels like he can do the best he can, right? And he's going to be pushed into this place where he's higher than her probably because he's got this testosterone stuff. Plus, he's got this precarious manhood thing, which is society pushing him daily to prove that he's a man. And what do you do to prove you're a man? You increase your status. So men are pushed from the outside and from the inside to be able to do this. Plus, look at the IQ stuff. Men's IQ, who has the really highest IQ? Men. If you look in the upper stratosphere of the genius level, men outnumber women by a long shot. So guess who's going to be the chess champion? Guess who's going to be the Fields Medal recipient? Men. Because that's who most of and there's a lot of bright women, and there's a lot of women who are geniuses, in fact. But the top levels are usually men. And so men are going to be more likely to be in those positions, and it's going to take more than 135 years, most likely, because that's just the way we are. We're different, and that's a beautiful thing. Can we celebrate that rather than try and frame it into a way that says that, oh, poor women, they're oppressed because they're not equal to men in all of these different aspects? Well, they're probably never going to be equal. Men not only are brighter at the higher levels, but men try harder because of this testosterone stuff and because of the precarious manhood. Men push harder. They do the dangerous jobs. They do the jobs that are difficult. They do things. They go out on a limb and they take risks, right? Those are the people who are going to rise to the top. Among those people are the ones who are going to go straight to the bottom too. Because anytime you take all these risks and you strive, you're either going to go up or you're going to sink. So there's a lot of men out there who have failed, but there's many men out there who have really done very, very well. And that's why they're at the top. Not because they're men, but because they're geared biologically and socially to do this. Anyway, and David Geary, by the way, is a hero to me. The guy is just a hero. He's the one that wrote, I think it's in its 3rd edition now, Male, Female, The Evolution of Human Sex Differences, which has been just a Bible for me for the last 15 years. Just an amazing book. I highly recommend it to anybody who's really interested in these kinds of things. And that's why Geary and his compatriot, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Stoet, I think, have gotten together and created this thing called BIGI, because Geary really knows about these differences. He wrote about them. He taught me everything about him. He's a brilliant guy. Anyway, they came up with this thing called BIGI. And what does BIGI do? Instead of looking at the outcomes and then going, oh no, women have less preferable outcomes than men do, BIGI looks at what's the lifespan of a person. Now, in Giggli, guess what? They look at the lifespan as normal is when women are 1.06 times the lifespan of men. In other words, they expect that the norm is that women should live longer than men. Therefore, it's not a disadvantage that men live less long than women. This is crazy. Anyway, the first element in BIGI is lifespan. Second is your opportunity for education. And the third is, what is the third one? Opportunity for education. Life satisfaction. How satisfied are you with your life? Fascinating, right? So they looked at those 3 elements and they pulled data from all over the world. And what do you think they found? It's a biggie. What they found was, in the developed countries, it's mostly women who are advantaged and men who are disadvantaged. In undeveloped countries, it's usually more the women who are disadvantaged. Absolutely fascinating stuff. This is the page for BIGI, and I'll leave a link to the BIGI page down there, and you can go through the page and they give you all kinds of information about what's going on with the BIGI results. And importantly, they also have this chart here, this table, that you can click the headings at the top, and the whole chart will show you what that particular heading is from top to bottom. And man, you find out some interesting stuff. But look at this now. You see, now notice that the chart has both pink and blue. And the pink is where women are advantaged, and the blue is where men are advantaged. So I'm telling you, this thing has a lot of stuff to learn about. I highly recommend you go and check it out. It's fascinating, and it's so important that we get this out there to legislators, to the media, because the media is not going to, jump on it, but to legislators at least, tell them, wait a minute, it looks like maybe men are the disadvantaged ones. because it's the truth. We all know it's the truth. I mean, looking at domestic violence, looking at suicide, looking at all these things, and they didn't even look at those factors. They didn't even look at those factors, but they still came up with the idea that women are advantaged in developed countries. How about that? Yes, indeed. And maybe that's enough for today. So don't forget, men are indeed good. And let's see if I can find the way out of here. Is that it?